Alright, green-black Citadel. So, what this deck is looking to do is that on the back of Wayward Swordtooth, explore creatures, and Path of Discovery to explore whatever a creature enters play under our control, alongside Bolas Citadel, this deck can, in theory, draw through and play through its entire deck, putting a ton of permanents into play, and then you use and activate Bolas' Citadel a number of times to kill them, sacrificing permanents, making them lose 10 life each time. So, the fallback of this deck is that it's just kind of a green-black explore deck that's just like, has reasonable creatures that can attack and block, while also having a combo-style finish. Thirsty Kane, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. It did not go well. Target player shuffles 3 cards from their graveyard into the library, draw a card. I mean, the rest of this seems fine. This is just like a 2-mana cantrip. Thirsty Kane. Thanks for keeping me around. Our opponents rank 132. They mean business, chat. Much serious, such wow. You tested this yesterday. It took me from gold 1, 3 wins to the rank floor. Well, playing a new deck when you're 1 win away from platinum is probably not the smartest idea. Maybe I'm supposed to lead on Branchwalker against turn 1 Memorial. Smells like Nexus of Fate. Well, we've got huge tracts of lands. I've been here for a very long time and loved every minute. Let's get green-red pig back to the queue. Sounds good, right, Cat? I appreciate the 26 months. Welcome back. Alright, Wildgrowth Walker triggers himself, which is sweet, with Path of Discovery. We've got huge tracts of land, chat. Huge, huge tracts of land. Well, I mean, the good news is if we draw a Citadel, we probably combo kill them. All we need is Citadel at this point, right? So hopefully we get another turn to do that. Might not get another turn. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe I'm supposed to keep the Jadelight just because it makes the Wildgrowth Walker lethal next turn. We're going to cast Gaea's Blessing here. Because if I draw a creature, I can put lethal into play with the Wildgrowth Walker. Citadel doesn't let you sack land. Yeah, you play all the cards off the top of your deck. Alright, attack for 11. Yeah, I targeted my opponent with that Gaia's Blessing rather than myself because I wanted to slow down their search for Azcanta flipping. I'm going to hold on to this trophy for the time being. So I would like to tag a Wilderness Reclamation, I think, with it, since their search is so far from flipping. Yeah, it sucks to get fogged there, but, like, it's definitely right to try and draw into lethal, because, like, forcing them to fog sooner rather than later is to our advantage. That's true, too. I don't really want to redraw either of these cards I bin. That's why I bin them. I understand why the blessing is there. I also understand that I wanted to cast it that turn to cantrip to put an 11th power into play, so my opponent was required to have the fog that turn. So I understand the purpose of this card in the deck, but it was also important for me to play it the turn I played it to draw a card, so that way my opponent was forced to have Root Snare a turn earlier than they otherwise would have been. I understand the point of it in the deck, but I was just explaining why I was casting it that turn, because it was correct to cast it that turn. I've not played a Feather deck yet. Probably going to happen on Monday. There is a Feather deck at 9th in the queue right now. No, Mox Amber's not really a playable card. It's pretty mediocre overall.
The moon looks intriguing tonight. I have learned much from my ancestors.
Who's excited for Wilderness Reclamation to be legal for 18 months still? That's when Wilderness Reclamation rotates. 18 months from now. Forgot to do it at end of turn. So they got to counter my spell. Yep, I deserve that. They bounced that because it put a 6th card in their graveyard so they could flip their search for Azcanta. No, they did it to flip search. Because it actually doesn't matter, because I'm probably not getting another combat step or turn. It doesn't matter which one they bounce, because if I deal combat damage, they lose the game. Alright, can they find... They have eight looks at a root snare here. How do they win? They cast Hydroid Krasis as a 1/1 or bigger, and then attack you a bunch with it. Because they take infinite turns by looping the card Nexus of Fate, because the card shuffles back into their deck for some reason. Are they dead, or do you have another thing? Oh, they have a land. Got it. Excellent. So now they get 4 more looks with their Azcanta. They get 2 more looks with their Opt. Are you dead? Please be dead. I guess I should have played this, because if they have another bounce spell, they could bounce this. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, even if they bounce this, they're still dead. Still should have played this pre-combat, probably. Oh, no! They could... No, this kills these, and they're still dead. If they have a bounce spell here, too. God damn it. I'm just done. I just don't even want to play more Magic. Maybe we'll have a short stream. That's so frustrating. So the Jadelight was lethal. I just like don't even feel like playing anymore is the issue. I just like have been mentally checked out since like the start of the game. The problem is, like, if I don't feel like playing this match, I should just sign off and stop streaming, because, like, we're gonna play against this for, like, the rest of the day. This is what the format is, chat. This is like, half our matches are against Wilderness Reclamation. Alright, let's shake it off and try and do a little bit better. I made 2 mistakes that game. I made 2 mistakes that game that would have allowed us to win, and if I hadn't made them, we'd have won. So let's stop complaining and just focus on playing better. Yeah, best of one's just miserable for other reasons. I really don't enjoy playing best of one Magic. It takes the variance in Magic and like cranks it up to a 12. Like the 2 mistakes I made that game for people that weren't following was I let them untap when I tried to Assassin's Trophy their search for Azcanta. If I didn't let them untap, they wouldn't have been able to counter my Assassin's Trophy, and then I could have played the Jadelight Ranger there, which would have allowed me to beat the bounce spell plus the destruction land. So it's just I was frustrated and annoyed because this playing against this archetype is basically frustrating and annoying. And I let myself just like kind of autopilot and just start clicking through because I thought we were just like had no chance to win. And then by allowing myself to be defeated, I actually didn't play to the outs that would have let us win the game. Would you do a World Shaper plus Bond 2 Builder round? Probably not. That doesn't really sound playable. Yeah, it just takes so long too, right? Like, I just like am ready to move on to the next game, so like I played quickly through my turn because I didn't think it looked like it didn't matter on the surface. Just like my opponent had spent so much time like jerking off the turn before. How long does it take them to sideboard? Well, they're a Reclamation player, so probably a long time. Thanks, Pinky. Are we disconnected? I feel like it's been more than 2 minutes, huh? I feel like I should relog. I'm gonna relog. Well, our rank implies that we lost the match because we were 700 something and now we're 1049. Thanks, Magic Arena, I guess. Absent Hero went fine. Looks very reasonable. Liliana's good. She's a 6 mana card. 6 mana cards are good when you live to cast them. Wait, my opponent disconnected Monkey Mind? Because we got DC'd too. It counted the match as a loss for me. I think I just kill this now. Yeah, so if we lost the game, that means we would be on the play for the following game, which means we'd have to make a decision first. Yeah, it definitely gave them the win. I said thanks, Johan. I missed an attack step because I was scrolling back up to Johan's. I did not read your message, but I said thank you. Welcome back. It was mid shit breaking, mid shit matchup and arena breaking. They didn't spell pierce me last turn. Well, the top of our deck's real good here. Yeah, you don't pay mana. You get to cast the card on top of your deck by paying life. So that's what we're trying to do. I bought some extra bits by mistake, trying to change my PayPal option, be my guest. Thanks, Pinky. All right. As sweet as that was, I think we're supposed to cut this game plan in this matchup. Like, I know that it was sweet there, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to come out here. Pretty sure. Okay, I think I just want to be an explorer creature deck with like some removal. Yeah, it does feel like a more busted version of the green-red deck. This hand's great. If they leave up 2 mana next turn, I think I probably play Kitesail Freebooter on 2. Try and clear the way of a counter so that way I can, like, get Wildgrowth Walker plus Branchwalker down. If they play any creatures or Curious Obsessions out, I'm definitely just going to stick the Wildgrowth Walker. So, hoping to draw an untapped land next turn, so that way I can play Kitesail Freebooter and Merfolk Branchwalker in the same turn, so I can clear a counterspell and then stick an Explorer creature to gain some life. I think I'm just supposed to jam this because I didn't hit the land. Alright, that worked. God bless. Woof. Alright, well, we bricked on lands, but I've got, you know, infinite power in play now, and I gained 6 life, so we're probably in an okay spot. Remember, the best way to beat the mono blue deck isn't even... The best way to beat the mono blue deck isn't by interacting with them, it's just by racing them. I gain another 6, attack you for 9. -95 degrees? I guess it is getting into the warm temperatures. Mike, you can always find all of my favorite deck lists from every day that we play on my website. You click videos, favorites. I tag 1 to 2 decks each day that are standouts for me. No, I didn't play a land yet. I mean, I had already played a land. I missed my land drop on 3. Sure. Wow, going to 1 there seems loose. Feel like they're supposed to chump block my 6/8. This deck seems sweet. And Citadel's an artifact, right? So it doesn't die to Mortify. This hand needs some lands, but I've got Explore creatures. So hopefully we'll find some. Yeah, me too. My gut just keeps going to these are enchantments, but they're artifacts. Green source, please. I think I keep that. It gives me 3 looks at a land next turn. I assume we're losing the Citadel here. Man, it's like an extra. I'm like still kind of tilted about that Nexus matchup. Because like, not only did I tilt myself out of punting that first game, but because Arena bugged, I tilted myself out of winning the match. Such poop. Anyone submitted a Bant Oketra deck yet? Yeah, actually, the Bant mid-range deck that's in the queue is an Oketra deck. Maybe sticking the Path there is silly. Maybe I'm just supposed to play Jadelight since Path dies to Mortify. You see this die in response. Main deck Despark again. Nah, this deck's got way too much respect for aggro to be an Ollie deck. I think Despark in the main deck's incredibly greedy. Yeah, this thing is like an honest to goodness combo deck. Alright. Alright. Yeah, that was lit. We literally had no board. We were like on 0 board and just like untapped Drew Citadel and killed them. Alright, I'm kind of into it. I'm kind of into it. Do I cut Path of Discovery here? It's individually kind of weak. Like, obviously it's good with the combo. Maybe I should leave in a couple. Hey, Volatang, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Yeah, technically worst neighbor, but in actuality, it just didn't matter. I don't know. I don't know exactly what we're doing. We're gonna trim around the edges. That's fine. Not amazing, but fine. Wish I... Actually, it'd be pretty good if we had an untapped green on one. You know this is a real combo deck because sideboarding's impossible. I'm not going to play the Jadelight out here, because like, they could have a counter spell, so I'd much rather have a double spell turn. Ah, Esper and Mistland drops. I really want to try and hit a land here, so that way if they untap and Kaia's Wrath me, I can play Citadel. Oh, you know, maybe I'm supposed to keep the elf there. Are you dead? Yeah, I couldn't cast creature spells regardless, so keeping the Jadelight's probably correct. I mean, Despark would have exiled our Citadel, chat. It would have exiled our Citadel. Afternoon, dude light. Sure. want to play the Dino because it lets me ramp. Anything that's not Citadel there basically getting binned. And there aren't any sweepers they could play next turn, right? So... I think they're playing a control deck. Just gonna trim around the edges again and clicks a bit. Yeah, they could maybe be an Nexus deck. Yeah, that's the big standout to me that makes decks like these be good. Is like, this deck has a strategy that it's able to execute even when it doesn't have its combo going. Perfect. Never didn't have it. It's like, these are my explore creatures. You get syncopated and be sad. It could have just been Dovin's veto too, though. So like, I don't know. Bond of Flourishing seems like a card I would describe as passable. Alright, you're gonna stay right there, Mr. Llanowar Elf. Gideon is not gonna triumph over you, and you shall not be sealed away. He's gonna play this to draw a card. Trying in a land drop. I guess. Opponent's rule is basically says nobody moves and nobody dies. Yeah, pretty much. That is not the land I wanted for Christmas. So, the reason why I took the mass manipulation is because I didn't want them to be able to mass manip my elf to keep me off of casting Bolas to Citadel for a turn. This is going to be able to blow this up here soon, which is kind of funny. Deal? That seems really good for me, right? Because it means they can't use this to kill this next turn. Yeah, I think path means they're dead. Do I explore that away? I think I explore that away, right? So what can attack this turn? This can attack. These can attack. This can attack. How do I 20 them? This taps to do its thing, and I can't play another copy of it. And I don't have another Gaea's Blessing in my deck right now. Yeah, am I supposed to trophy the Blast Zone? Oh, you hold priority and play the next one. Okay, that's how that works. That's true. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I need a few more permanents though. I still have more Citadels in my deck, right? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's 17 cards by deck, so I need to... Alright, so we do this. So I do... Well, if I attack, they're going to kill my stuff. Wait, what? Oh, is it bugged? Yeah, it's bugged. It's weird. It's like, it's asking me to hit decline. What happens if I click on this? You already have a copy of the playlist, will force you to... yes? Oh, weird. It wanted to automatically make me play the next one. Alright, well, they weren't actually dead there, but they conceded, so... Alright, deal. I don't really understand what just happened there, but we'll roll with it. It's non-land permanents. This doesn't sacrifice lands. Can looks fine. Yeah, they probably didn't read the non-land clause. Probably accurate. This hand, ooh, that's a good start. Say this hand's only okay against mono blue. If we hit an explore creature, quick Wildgrowth Walker is definitely one of our best starts against mono blue. Winning games I had to actually what happened to me too. Yep. Sounds like a combo deck. All right, looking for explorers. Now the awkward part is, like, our explore creatures are pretty unlikely to resolve. This is not a matchup where our combo is very good. This is last time we played this matchup once earlier today, and I just pulled way down out of the sideboard. We, like, brought in Duresses and removal spells and, like, Kraul Harpooners. I probably should have done this last turn, just to draw a card. Real Brock, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, you know, give him every possible chance to punt, right? I don't actually think this matchup's that bad on paper, Luke. I think our combo plan's probably not good here, but I think Wildgrowth Walker decks in general are just, like, pretty good against mono blue. I think we have a solid board plan here. Just like take the entire top end and cut it down. This seems pretty reasonable. Yeah, like this is how you want to build a combo deck, especially in a format like Standard. Like, we have this, like, reasonable game plan that just, like, happens to combo sometimes as well. Like, being all in on combo decks and, like, only working when your combo happens tends to be a losing recipe in Magic, especially in Standard. There's a lot of quality interaction. That sounds accurate, Luke. I believe that. Seems pretty reasonable. It wants a Wildgrowth Walker pretty badly, obviously, but we have Bond of Flourishing here. Hopefully it'll help us find one. I feel like this is the deck Lich's Mastery always wanted to be. You mean good? Yeah, definitely. I think there's a chance this is pretty reasonable. Say hello to my 1/2. I would love to block. I think I take that one because it makes their thing big enough to attack through my Kitesail Freebooter. So I hate comments like that, Zauzi. They just serve to, like, put people down or build yourself up. This deck could use a little more tuning. Stop using buzzwords. Put an actual coherent thought together. What needs more tuning? What seems like an issue? What would you change? Be constructive. Be specific. Don't just sit there and crap on something. Like, it might not be perfect, but if you think it's not perfect, let's talk about what's not perfect, as opposed to just, like, being, nah, dog, it's bad, needs work. But, like, okay, maybe your intention isn't to crap on it there, and I was probably a little aggressive, but what I'm saying is, like, just writing it off as, like, let's make the deck more agile, this deck needs more tempo. Like, what does that actually mean? Like, that's just, like, buzzword BS, essentially. This deck lacks velocity. Yeah, so since we drew the Harpooner, I'm going to play the Wildgrowth Walker here as bait, potentially. And now I have to decide how I want to sequence. So, like, whatever I play next is getting counterspelled. So would I rather Kraul Harpooner get countered, or would I rather Merfolk Branchwalker get countered? Yeah, I think it's Branchwalker I'd rather get countered. The problem is we know they have 2 counters here, so that means we still have another one to play through next turn. Peekaboo, I see you. Brutal. And sometimes Mono Blue has all the things and you die. It's just how the cookie crumbles. I think the blessings are useful when you're combo killing the opponent, Zauzi, and I think they have a high enough floor, they're good enough in spots that they're worth playing, because they basically read 2 mana, draw a card. So I think they're relevant and useful when you're churning through your deck on the combo kill, and when you draw them when you're not combo killing, they're still useful. But I think writing them off doesn't make a lot of sense. casual 350 ranks. Oh, ladders. The ladder system is basically just like who can flip 4 or 5 heads in a row on the last day the ladder's open. I don't even think it's that hard to climb. You just have to win a bunch in a row. It's all about the streaking. Gotta go streaking. Opponent mulligan to 5. Range like reasonable here. They publish how MMR is updated. They don't exactly, but like what do we need? What do you want to know? Like it's not that hard to like figure out approximately how much. Like everybody has an internal point system, and when you win points. When you lose points, and how much you go up and down is determined by how many other people around you have similar amount of points. I think I keep that. Like, I want to draw some lands here, but I think right now I just want to, like, put a bunch of poopers into play and attack them. Yeah, there is a prize for being in the top 1,000 at the end of the season, but even being in the top 1,000 is incredibly high variance and volatile. Like, if you watch this stream at all, we frequently go up and down hundreds of spaces with single wins. Like, I think yesterday while we were playing, we peaked at, like, 60th, and, like, we bottomed out at, like, 96% or something. And, like, just playing every day, you can rubber band back and forth in that range. So, like, if you win or if you have a losing streak on the last day, it doesn't really matter what else happens. We missed the stream yesterday to play Abs in Hero. Yeah, we actually played Abs in Hero yesterday and today. We had some people put it back in to get run back today. And I'm actually going to hold this land in my hand because if they play a 4-mana Nicol Bolas, I want to discard this rather than my Citadel. Hey, Bevern, thank you for the 12 months of support. Oh, holding the land is bad because it means if I have a land on top of my deck, I can't play it. That's something to think about. So I was thinking about them having a card to make me discard, but was not thinking about that.
Will remake the multiverse in my image. My revenge will be painful.
We have a good chance to kill them this turn, since they didn't kill the Citadel. Not guaranteed by any means, but a pretty reasonable chance. Need to hit a Wildgrowth Walker before too far. That's good insurance in case we don't hit the Wildgrowth Walker. Trolling in the deep. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate it. Alright, they're conceding. Got it. Duress sounds good. gonna swap Land Wars for Duresses. I think that's fine. Let's do that. Has Citadel won the game every time it's resolved? I think so. Yeah, you're not wrong. Just like putting all the power into play is likely beating them as well. Like, we weren't guaranteed to combo kill them that turn, but like, could they beat my board? Probably not. This deck is the definition of your life total being a resource. Ain't that the truth? This hand is great. Demax, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month and keeping me employed. Gosh, we're such a powerful wizard, chat. We are such a powerful wizard. Low variance game. London Mulligan win, please. London Mulligan win. The results from the Mythic Championship so far make me feel like it probably didn't break Modern, so hopefully we're gonna have it everywhere soon. It's fine. Not amazing, but fine. The consistency with which this deck plays feels really good between the Bonds of Flourishing and all the Explore creatures. I'm not sure Bolas' Citadel is very good without the Explore Wildgrowth Walker package to power it. Like, the reason why this deck is good is because it can gain lots of life. So, without a way to gain lots of life, Bolas' Citadel is a very fair or possibly even just an unplayable card, I think. Hey, RS Duns, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, we're going to be playing, after this deck, we're going to play a second iteration of Mardu Aristocrats. We played one yesterday, too. Smells like a combo deck. All right, I mean, if we hit a land next turn, untapped land, we can play Citadel. I'm just supposed to take the land to guaranteed play this. That's probably the case. Have our cake and eat it too. Confirmed a Nexus deck. They don't have a counterspell interaction up next turn. We should kill them with Bolas' Citadel. They could have a boomerang here, the bounce spell. Nexus of Fate rotates at the same time as Ixalan, I believe. Wow, 3 lands in a row on top of our deck. I guess Bonds of Flourishing can clear that. Although maybe I'm just supposed to trophy this. I don't know, the odds of them comboing us next turn are pretty low because they don't have anywhere near flipping Sortrez Canta. So Bond of Flourishing, if it resolves, will clear the top card of our deck. Which gives us a chance to play cards off with Bolas' Citadel. Do you have the blink or no? Hey, Gargantuan, thank you for the 8-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Alright, unfortunately ran into another land on top, so not going to get to fully combo them this turn. That's fine. Like I mentioned a second ago, I think we're pretty unlikely to get comboed by them on their next turn, so we should get another chance next turn. There's only cards 1 and 2 in their graveyard. Or 2, 3? No, 1 and 2. I have Trophy to interact with them next turn. Ananomic, thank you for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed. Even if they like Nexus of Fate here, they don't really have enough going on to like get going, so. Yeah, I agree, Dows. The Wildgrowth Walker package just insulates you so very well against aggro. Scribe top. Did you find a bounce spell? And one of the really nice things about this deck, it feels like against these combo decks, is that, like, they have to, like, or these decks that have counterspells, like, our creatures pressure them, so we're able to... Our creatures pressure them, so we're able to, like, make them tap out, so we can then resolve the Citadel. Alright, so we really need a Wildgrowth Walker. Perfect. Wildgrowth Walker should mean they're dead this turn. Because Wildgrowth Walker, along with the paths, gives us the engine to play most of our deck out here. How does it feel to combo a Nexus player? Great. And this is why Gaea's Blessing is in our deck, because it reshuffles our deck here. This deck was designed by the Magic player Luke Fahey. They were one of the top 8 players who qualified for the Mythic Invitational last season. Take your time. All right, if we find another Bolas' Citadel, they're dead. So how you actually kill them is when the other Bolas' Citadel comes up, you put on full control mode. And so we put on full control mode now. And we cast this, and then in response to this, we activate the other one and sacrifice 10 things. So this does 10, and this comes into play. Oh, I guess I technically don't have enough things to... Oh, I can sack itself. Yeah, that's true. I forgot. It's fine. We're gonna get back to 10 things. Sacking itself is a good note. I'm at 109 though, so we got that going for me. Since they're playing Nexus of Fate, should I just keep going till they concede? Because we can go all night, right? All night long, all night. Do 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 do. At least one more time through the library. Trigger, reshuffle. Alright, fine, I'll kill him. Good lord, this deck is gonna be everywhere. I don't know if this deck is good, but it's certainly the type of thing people are gonna like to do. This deck is going to be everywhere. It's gonna, yep. Alright. Get your artifact destruction ready, chat. I'm not playing Magic until rotation. Alright, what am I supposed to cut? I definitely want my discard spells, my Brontodon. When you're winning for 10 minutes. And, like, I think this deck is good against aggro, too, right? So what am I trimming? Seekers Squire is, like, the worst of my bunch. That's been my go-to trim. Yeah, I could trim Bond of Flourishing. It's mostly there for redundancy. Let's try this. Karn is a hate card. The new Karn is a hate card because it turns off the Citadel. That's funny. They DQ'd a player for marked cards. Yikes. And yeah, Marty, this is almost, I'd be very surprised if anything else we play today can take deck of the day away from this one. Correct. Yeah, it doesn't prevent you from just doing your thing. Does Tecatli shut off path? It does, actually. That's true. Tecatli Honor Guard also shuts this down. It's a good thing to note. Yeah, there's play and counterplay, obviously. Trophy is a card that does work. But it is worth noting, I mean, technically Damping Sphere is legal in this format too, right? Like that's a card that mostly was created for Modern, or was it, right? Like, was this something on their radar that they printed Damping Sphere for? How much longer on the Citadel deck? Until I get bored. 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Might run a little bit long. Do you pay more life? You know, you'd have to pay mana. And I am going to shuffle these cantrips back into their deck because I want their next Search for Azcanta they draw to be worse. I'm excited for a future of competitive Magic that's all digital, so we don't have to worry about people getting DQ'd for cheating. That's the biggest upside. Like, as someone who's played a lot of competitive paper Magic, the amount of mental energy you have to exert just like making sure your opponent's not taking advantage of you intentionally or otherwise is like a big deal. I can push it till Monday, D Prince. I'm not going to be live tomorrow. So let me know what you'd prefer. Since you sent in a large donation. For larger donations, I give you some leeway over when we play things. Yeah, and like, they're casting Nexus, but like they're not drawing extra cards, so they're really not doing much. And they're almost dead on board, not quite. Oh, actually they are dead on board. So let's, obviously they have this, but I'm gonna play this to make them use their Root Snare this turn. Just want to like force them to start doing that ASAP. Sounds good, D Prince. So they're not dead because they have Root Snare. But they're dead next turn, so let's hope. I assume we're gonna see him crack Memorial here. Satan's Cheese, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Did the Nexus player do it? Nope, just Satan's Cheese. Didn't miss a word. Obviously covered everything that needed to be said. That means they're not dead, right? Which is a bit of a yikes for us. Because they can block, and they take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 only. Still kind of just tire spinning, though. The absolute worst part about playing against this deck on Arena, though, is that you have to keep sitting there clicking done. You're like, yep, 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 yep. Yeah, the button does still show as my turn, which is kind of a tilt too. Shuffling these back in because I want to draw a card. And again, targeting their... Actually, maybe I should target my Blessing. Although I probably don't need the Blessings to combo kill them, so targeting their graveyard seems fine. Alright, and then I assume we're getting fogged here. Yeah, the nice part is if we draw Citadel, they die without us needing a combat step. It does not, Rag. Still have to click done. Evening Boomer. So they're going to float a bunch of mana. They're going to crack their Memorial to Genius. Hopefully just continue spinning their tires, doing nothing. Did you find the third root snare? Did you find the third root snare? Survey says. Hey, Endek, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on social media. Thanks for shipping your Prime support this way this month. We don't know, Regime. We don't really know what's going on in the format. The set just released on Thursday. Anyone who tells you they know and understand what's going on in the format with certainty is sorely misinformed. There are a variety of decks in the format last season and this season that are reasonable against Esper. The Abzan Hero deck that we've played a bunch of has a very reasonable Esper matchup. It has a lot of creatures that generate value while it plays, while also being able to pressure its opponent very reasonably. Teamer Reclamation from last season, the reason why that deck in big part rose to popularity was because it was good against Esper. Alright, if they have a Nexus here, I'll probably concede because they're going to flip Search for Azcanta now. They have the third fog, or the fourth fog. They had the third one last turn. Yep, there's 3 in there. I don't think we had a best deck last season. Alright. Well, I'm gonna make them take. If they cast Nexus of Fate next turn, I'm conceding. Move on to the third game. Yeah, it's like even when you like get a turn, you don't get the most important part of your turn most of the time, right? Because they just like cast Root Snare and you don't get a combat step. So they get 9 looks. They get 10 looks this turn into Nexus of Fate. I did not put any fogs back in their deck. I only put cards back in their deck that I didn't care about them drawing. Does Tibalt not stop damage prevention? He only stops life gain, right? Well, I'm not going to get another turn. If they cast Nexus of Fate, I'm not going to get another turn. Bottom. Survey says. Alrighty, and again, just like, you know, we won the game, but like, I don't feel like I did anything meaningful to win the game. I just like sat here with my butt cheeks clenched together like, please don't kill me, please don't kill me. Just bracing for impact, like. How are we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're at in the world. Thanks for hanging out here today. Hopefully we'll get some non-Nexus opponents up next. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I'm a full-time streamer and content producer here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week during set release weeks like this. As always, I'd like to give a shout out to all my wonderful subs, like Dare Sushi there, checking in for the 7th month in a row. My subs are the people that keep me employed here. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their support, so thanks to all of them as always. I'd also like to plug a couple of my sponsors here really quick. The Nerd Rage Gaming Championship Series, a $5,000 cash tournament series that happens every single month in the Midwestern United States. If you can't make it out to the Midwest to play in one of their standard, modern, or legacy tournaments, you can check out their streaming coverage as well at twitch.tv/NRG series each month. BCW Supplies are the ones I trust to protect my very valuable shuffling cards and other Magic the Gathering and gaming accessories. At bcwsupplies.com, you can use code Jeff10 to save 10% on sleeves, binders, deck box, and all sorts of other fantastic stuff there. Neo provides wonderful candy-flavored protein bars using code HOGLAND at bit.ly/HugoBar. You can save 10% on all of your orders there with them. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now, and I appreciate you dropping in to spend part of your weekend here with us. If you are a new viewer and you enjoy the way I describe my plays and the variety of decks that we play here, make sure you hit that follow button. Following the stream doesn't cost you anything, and it lets you know when I go live and with what. Was the person who got DQ'd... Was the person who got DQ'd in contention for top 8? I wasn't following the standings, so I don't know offhand. They were a lock for top 8. Yikes. They're an MPL player. Oh. 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 Oh, Watsy. Oh, man, they just can't catch a break, huh? They really just can't catch a break. For people not following, not even talking about the Owen mess, because I don't want to get into that, but there was another MPL player that was DQ'd from a Grand Prix earlier this year. MPL stands for the Magic Premier League. Those are the 32 players who are invited to things like the Mythic Invitational and the Arena Mythic Championships that happen. Does anybody have a link? I really don't want to spread hearsay, so I'd like a link to show. Nobody's posted a link to the Watanabe DQ. It should be in the coverage, right? Can a mod create a command and link it? Because facts are ideal. Facts make for bad TV. I know, it's tough. Just Google it, Johan. Please be a divination. Please be a divination. Ba-bee! All right. One of the other things I like about this deck, and this is what makes these decks good, and the Explore decks good in general, is that these decks mulligan really well because of the cards like Jadelight Ranger. Squire of Hoaglandia, thank you for checking in for the 11th month. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. What's going on, Scuttles? Thank you for the 6 months. I appreciate it. Well, I don't have anything going on. Maybe my 7 power will just beat them down. Planeswalker, thank you for the 2-month resub. Welcome back. It is So one of the reasons why I moved into playing less competitive Magic and more focusing on the entertainment side, doing streaming stuff here, is because it was always mind-blowing to me how many players who are high-level Magic the Gathering players, and even people who are in the Hall of Fame and MPL players who don't have a good fundamental understanding of the rules of Magic, and it makes playing tournament Magic, not digitally, kind of frustrating in my opinion. Like, yeah. What's Magic? We don't know. God bless the computer, right? The computer means I don't actually have to know. If they don't have a Bedevil, Bolas' Citadel could win us this game still. So we're going to hang out for a bit. If they do have a Bedevil, we're probably dead. Are you in the flood zone? Something like that. Do I want to shuffle these back into my deck? Yeah, it's probably fine. Stagal, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Hope you're having a fantastical weekend. Thanks for keeping me employed here. We don't really know what the opponent's doing. This is game 1, and so far they've played Treasure Maps and Kaya's Wrath. I guess that would imply a control deck. How do you expect Magic players to know the rules when you know most of them can't read? That's a fair point that I hadn't considered. This is an incredibly fair point I hadn't considered. Thankfully, it looks like they're also kind of flooding, although these treasure maps are going to draw them a pile of cards here soon. Marty, you're so good at making commands. Man, what do we do to deserve you here? You gift way too many subs and you make the best commands. Norin the Wary, thank you for the Prime support. I appreciate it. Big Show, welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. Thanks for hanging out, and I appreciate the support.
I advise that evil cannot withstand a righteous army.
There's Arena copy deck list directly from Stream Decker and Arena. I believe they had fixed the issue. Yeah, there should be a export to Arena button in the thing. Hey, one last shot. Dead. All right. Well, we had a chance, and that's one of the wild things about this deck is we kind of have a chance up until the last turn to just like floop the Citadel into play and kill them, which is kind of wild. I think I'm gonna click submit. I think I'm pretty happy with our main deck again with what we're doing. Well, the top 8's not going on just yet, right? The top 8 won't be until tomorrow. If you tried Vivian Arcbow with the Explorer package, deck seemed like it could help in flooding situations. So, one of the things, I'm not sure Arcbow, it depends on which Explorer decks you're playing, Norin. I agree that the Arcbow is really good. The Arcbow is good at helping you not flood out, but a lot of the Explorer package decks have Hydroid Crisis, which is already flood insurance. So, I think if a deck was looking to play Arcbow to prevent flooding, it would probably be more something like a green-red aggro or monster style deck as opposed to the Explorer decks that tend to play. I did not see what made top 8. I've been live for like the last 3 hours or so. I was watching some of the coverage earlier today, but I've been streaming for a bit now. Hey, Zelgoth, well, I appreciate the support, even if you haven't been able to catch a live one. Hope you've been enjoying the YouTube stuff. This deck has been sweet. It's easily the deck of the day so far. If you can't watch all my stuff, if you're like Zelgotha and can't catch me live, be sure to check out my website and my YouTube channel. Every day I post under the video section on my website, there's a favorite section where I tag 1 to 2 decks that were a standout for me. Gosh, why do all the 6-spell hands always look so good? This is unfortunately a mulligan, so I just don't have a second land. If this was an untapped green, I might risk it for the biscuit, but I think because this is tapped, I just need to try again. This is very reasonable. And this deck mulligans well because of the Explore cards, which is nice. Alkalal, thank you for the 16 months and the very generous Tier 3 reset. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Three humans, 2 Tron, a Titan Shift, an Affinity, and an Izzet Phoenix. So the other category didn't put up any results at all. Woof. Yeah, that sounds really sweet. Sorin sounds awesome in Black White Angels. I've not found a Grixis deck that I really like just yet, unfortunately. Yeah, this is, for people that are just joining us, we're almost done with this one, but you're going to want to go back and watch this. This deck has a green-black Explorer package in it, but we're actually a deck that can combo kill with Bolas and Citadel. Like, we literally play our entire deck in one turn and then kill them. It's really sweet. I think I leave that there just because the Explorer bodies are good against what the opponent's doing. I mean, to be fair, Humans is a pretty interactive deck. Like, Humans has aggressive draws, but it's good because it has interactive elements. Hey, Warlordy, thank you for the 4 months. Welcome back. I mean, like, Humans and Phoenix are, like, premier examples of how you want to be interactive in Modern, right? They're decks that have a proactive linear game plan, but are just a little bit interactive to slow people down who are trying to go faster than you. And that's the way you want to be interactive in Modern. You don't want interaction to be your primary game plan, but you do want a little bit of it to slow down the people who might have a better draw than you do. I am glad I listened to Taylor and shook it off instead of tilting off the face of the planet against the Nexus player. Hey, Drawn Go, thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. It has been a treat. Yep. If they don't have a discard spell here and we rip a land next turn, we get to get the Citadel down and then maybe get going. Mortify can kill our Path of Discovery, but it can't kill our Citadel, so that's nice. With this Bellhaunt stonewalling us, I am going to need a combo finish, most likely. Oh, you know, I probably should have taken the untap land there so I could hold up this activation potentially. Because if they, like, untap and, like, make me discard a card, I'd rather Memorial to Folly there. So it's a small sequencing mistake on my part. One thing that kept tripping me up in my thinking about this deck of this card, this is not an enchantment, so it's not mortifiable, which is nice. There's a artifact that has colors. Looking to dodge Bellhaunt and Bedevil here. My opponent has 2 cards in hand. They're getting a scry with this map, and then they have a draw. They put 1 on top. Yikes. Hopefully this is just like play a card, and then we untap and combo kill them. Alright, step 1. Step 1. 23 life, let's go. Let's go. Now, I don't have the Wayward Swordtooth, and I don't have Path of Discovery, so there is a chance we hit too many lands in a row and die. So we're not guaranteed here. Yeah, see, like that, that's a pretty bad, it's a pretty bad beat. Did I just kill this? Probably.
There are greater battles to fight.
Hoping it like path into Wildgrowth Walker here. All right. If they don't have a way to deal with the Citadel, we get to try again next turn. And with the path and having a bunch of mana up, we're in a good spot. Hey, Planeswalker. I appreciate it. Oh, no! Oh, no! What kind of a bully puts interaction in their deck? That's rude. Oh, this is a sorcery. We had lethal, trophy, a blocker. The Citadel can't sacrifice lands, Thread Menace. I'm fired. Yep, no worries. You're far from the first to suggest that, and I doubt you'll be the last, so don't feel bad. Sure. This treasure map crack here makes their current token bigger. It's pretty good without bidding lands, I agree. Why not 2 Citadels and a Wildgrowth Walker? Because I need a Citadel, and I already had 3 Wildgrowth Walkers in my deck. And I have a Memorial to Folly sitting in play that can get back a Wildgrowth Walker. I do get a little punished here if they have a card that discards a card from my hand. Yikes, that gains them a lot of life. Well. You like sack Jadelight, rebuy with Memorial. Yeah, it's a pretty good line. I think you're right. I think I like that better. Happy Saturday, Axe. Hope you're having a good one. This 3-4 is just a huge brick wall. What control decks to get for upcoming PTQs? Well, Esper Control is the only stock known good control deck at the moment. By no means have the cards been released long enough to have figured out things like Grixis or other color combinations with the new set. So the thing you need to remember is that even though we had a new set release, like, this is the 7th set into a set format that already had 6 sets in it. So, like, everything that was good before is still good. Yeah, that's true, Luke. That could have been a possibility, too. Just concedes to the Citadel. Alright, I like it. Won't you take me to Value Town? Won't you take me to Value Town? I think even seeing what they're doing, I don't really want to sideboard that much. They're just going to bring in a trophy and trim a Seekers Squire. What did I bump something by mistake? I must have bumped something by mistake, yep. If you head on over to my website, Axe, and click favorites at the top, or videos favorites, sorry, you'll be able to see my favorite deck that I've tabbed each day we've been streaming so far. A lot of great things up there. I think I'm gonna keep that. Just like go path into this the following turn. You love that URL. I didn't buy that URL for myself, but I'm super happy that someone else did. I think it's hilarious.
This will not deter me.
One. Matt Man bought that and forwarded it to my website. Brutal. They got the Despark and the... Maybe I should have been the Wildgrowth Walker. Or maybe I should have Wayward Swordtooth before I... Yeah, that's probably line. I probably should have Wayward Swordtooth before I Jadelighted. MagicEsports.net/JeffHoagland.com. Listen, I'm only an individual person, so I know to like buy all the domain names adjacent to my thing. So like that's why I own JeffHoagland.com, .net, and .org. Because I understand how technology works. You can't expect a giant corporation like Wizards of the Coast to like buy all related domains that just make sense to them. These things cost like tens of dollars per year, chat. You can't just be going and spending tens of dollars per year picking up domain names adjacent to your product. Alright, probably dead here. I assume this means they have a second card. Alright, we'll take one more draw step at the old Citadel before we pack it in here. I can't believe it took me this long to figure out why it changed from red to premium. Yep, Isha. I'm short a land, right? So I can't, yep, can't do that. Alright, let's play one more with this one, see if we can go off one more time before we slide along to Geet's Super Friends. Yeah, the entire rank system is just like flipping coins. Just don't. You literally move hundreds of ranks with every win and loss. If your goal is to try and qualify for their end of season top 1000 thing, just play a little bit every day and then hope on the last day you flip heads a bunch of times and win all your matches. How worried are you about your arena sleeves being marked? Well, I mean, like, that's why I'm using these Golgari ones. These are the premium sleeves, so I think these ones are less likely to get me DQ'd for being marked because I paid extra money for them. Is that too soon? It might be too soon to make that joke. You know, I'm gonna play this because it's unlikely to die. We're probably dead here. It feels like we're slowly coming crashing back down to reality, playing it's like red aggro and blue aggro with this deck. Although, like, the Wildgrowth Walker package probably means we're not just dead against red aggro. Although this risk factor is going to get to draw them 3 cards here. Wow, their last card was Lightning Strike. Alright, we're dead. Yikes. Yeah. Yeah, our combo plan is really not good here, right? It's gonna drag in a couple of cards to pull the curve down. What about Harpoon just for early trade fodder? Maybe it's better. Maybe I'm just supposed to cut all the top end again. I could see that not being unreasonable. Yeah, cut all the Citadels. Citadel's probably not particularly playable here. That's true. Kitesail does often read game 3, because they have to kill it to get their spell back up from under it. Sam Bram, thank you for the Twitch Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I'm just killing this now proactively, even though my cast down's an instant, because the opponent's deck has Wizard's Lightning in it, so I'd like to take their only Wizard out of play. Again, killing their Wizard proactively here. Try and choke their mana on the possibility of Wizard's Lightning happening. When you are in the deck editor for Arena, when you're in the deck editor for Arena, there is a icon in the top right-hand corner of the screen that's a star. You can click it to see the cards that have styles available for purchase. Not every card has a premium version available, but many of them do. Although not many in the latest set. Felt like they released without having too many. Like, Bolas not having a full art style is like criminal. It's very sad. No, Metallics, the full art cards that are being saved for events still list the full art in the client. It just says you can't purchase them. So, for instance, the Vraska's Contempt has a full art coming from the ladder rewards, so it's listed in the client. You just can't pay money for it. I'm waiting on Walker until they tap out, or until the very least when I can play 2 spells in the same turn. So I can, like, play Walker and an Explore creature immediately afterwards. Blue Ice, thank you for the Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. Yep. I can stay there. Next turn, I can Memorial the Folly, back the Wildgrowth Walker, and play an Explore creature in the same turn, which is nice. The Jadelight Ranger slowly chipping away at them here. What shiny does that get you? Gold and Plat gets you something. I forget what the gold one is. Plat is definitely Vraska's Contempt. I'm not trading the elf away here because I need the mana to be able to pick up Branchwalker and replay it, or Wildgrowth Walker and replay it. Yeah, you can find videos of us playing both Grixis Control and Grixis Midrange on my website and my YouTube channel. So far, I have yet to find a Grixis list that I'm super happy with. I guess this gives them a window to kill this still, right? I guess this lose. Maybe I should have traded the elf. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that because I don't want to play this right away. Yeah, I should have traded the elf for the Lava Runner last turn. Should have traded the elf for the Lava Runner last turn. That was a mistake. Because I want to play this with an Explore creature in the same turn, ideally, so I don't have a chance to, like, skewer it before I gain life. Brutal. And here's the extra icing on the cake of my mistake, right? Like if I would have traded for this Lava Runner last turn, they would have had to use the counters off of this to cast this. Do I think Crix's control could be top tier? I have no idea. So the problem is, they have this over here, and they have risk factor as well. So if I don't play the Wildgrowth Walker into their Wizard's Lightning, they just, I have to let them draw cards with this, which is not good for me. So I think I just have to do this. They'll pull the counters off of here, shoot this here. Hey, Wildgrowth Walker. Alright. Don't call it a comeback. We could still die here, okay? Frenzy plus Steamkin is very messed up. You find it surprising that 250 million games have been played, Gogeth, or that 97% of them have been best of one? As I'm not surprised at all that an overwhelming number of the games are best of one. To play best of 3, most people can't even find best of 3 when they first log into the client because it's hidden behind a toggle switch and nothing ever tells you where to get to it. Best of 1's also cheaper to play in terms of dollars because you don't need a sideboard, so your deck is basically 25% smaller. I think Arena's also introduced a huge number of brand new people to Magic the Gathering, and Magic the Gathering already has an incredibly intimidating game to get into. And Best of 1 is far more accessible to start with because one of the highest skill things in Magic is learning how to sideboard correctly. Because sideboarding is not even just like having a list of like what you're supposed to be doing in specific matchups, right? Because you need to be anticipating what your opponent's going to be doing because you need to be boarding against the deck that they're going to be, not the deck they just were. Yeah, we played one of the deck of the day on Friday was a blue-red Steamkin deck that had Ral and the expansion combo in it. Alright, looking for an Explore creature. That's actually a better draw than an Explore creature. Means if we get to play this next turn, there's a good chance we combo kill them. Are there decent resources to learn on how to sideboard? Well, you are partaking in a decent resource to learn how to sideboard right here, just by watching people play Magic that have experience with it. One of the things that makes sideboarding such a complex skill is there's a lot of nuance into it. There isn't just like a 15-minute TLDR article that you can go read or video you can watch that'll suddenly make you proficient in how to sideboard in Magic. Alright, we just want a creature on top of our deck when we play the Citadel. Any creature. Tilt. So, one of the reasons why I think this deck is probably less offensive than Reclamation, which is an incredibly low bar to skip across, is the fact that one of the basically combo pieces of this deck is Wildgrowth Walker. Without Wildgrowth Walker in play, you can't gain life. So that means there's a lot more opportunities for you to interact with this deck than Nexus of Fate, because there's lots of ways to interact with creatures in Standard. White aggro. White or red aggro are the best climb decks, in my opinion. Alright, going to 9. Red aggro has more play to it, in my experience. That would be my personal choice. Alright, we're doing it, chat. This is, for those of you that got here late and haven't seen us do it yet, this is what doing it consists of. We might brick off if we had another land. Yikes. That's still... And this is why, again, like, we didn't even full combo this turn, but, like, we made our Wildgrowth Walkers huge and gained a bunch of life. This is why there are copies of the Dinosaur in our deck, the 5/5, that lets us play extra lands, so that way we're less likely to brick off on hitting multiple lands to turn off the top of our deck. Otter Bad, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed this month with that. Yeah, right, and like suddenly we're at 29. So for those not familiar, Bolas Citadel is a new card. It's kind of the engine for this combo deck. It says you can look at the top card of your deck and then you can pay life in order to, instead of its casting cost, to play it out. So when we pair that with Wildgrowth Walker and Path of Discovery to make all of our creatures explore, we can basically play through any amount of creatures in our deck. So, Bolas' Citadel actually kills them also, Troll. So, like, when we full combo, you activate 2 Citadels in a turn and drain them for 20. So, if we'd have hit the right combination of things there, we'd have played our entire deck and hit them for 20. Alright, pay 2 to play this, gain 9 when it comes into play. Yes, yeah, with the other Citadel in the stack, you activate the next one. Alright, we're getting going here. We're likely a lock to go through our deck this turn now. Elevator going up on our health total at 55. Up to 70. Alright, they understand what's going on. They've had enough. Alright, I think I just want a couple of cast downs. I think I'm going to trim these Seekers Squires and bring in a trophy and a cast down. Like, we're a linear combo deck, so like, in general, if you're not quite sure what you're supposed to be doing with this deck, less is more, because you don't want to sideboard to dilute your game plan too much. What's our record with this deck? We've been dying to aggro decks and beating most other things. Honor Guard turns our combo off. Damping Sphere turns the combo off. There's a lot of good ways to interact with this deck. You can kill the Wildgrowth Walkers. We've won at least as much as we've been losing. I actually think this deck's very reasonable, and one of the reasons why I think it's reasonable is because when the combo's not good, if your opponent's pressuring you with aggro, or they're disrupting your thing. We're just an explore deck that can do okay things. Like, we can still play Magic when we're not combo killing the opponent, which I think is a really big deal. That was an excellent draw. I would always be on the draw if my 8th card was always Llanowar Elves. Just sign me up. Green Divination. Sweet. How aggressive do I get? Do I pay 6 for this? I've already played a land for the turn. I've already played 2 lands for... I'm just going to pass. That was a turn 3 Citadel, by the way. For those of you at home that weren't paying attention, that was a turn 3 Citadel. Yeah, I agree, Luke. I think there's a chance post-board they can interact with this, so leaving this one here as a backup seems very reasonable. Alright, especially with this extra Swordtooth in our hand, pretty likely to kill them this turn. Man, are we playing Modern? Just turn 4 Lethal in my combo deck? Feels Modern, yo. We don't have Path out yet. Path is the card we're really looking for at this point. That one. That one right there is what we're looking for. Alright, this should mean they're dead. Alright, the old 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 combo kill. So, thoughts on this. I really kind of like what's going on here. Like I said, I think the big question in my mind that I would want to shore up is how do I would want to play matches post-board with configurations against mono blue and mono red to figure out like what my game plan is there to try and stay alive. I think you can likely solve a lot of the issues you have with mono red and mono blue by playing more creatures in the sideboard. So both Kraul Harpooner is obviously very good against mono blue, and Thrashing Brontodon is very good against red. Yeah, I think you cut Citadel and Path of Discovery in those matchups probably. You definitely cut both against mono blue. Blast Zone. Blast Zone's an interesting idea. You could find that with Explore creatures, which is sweet. Yeah, I could see Blast Zone. I think I would want to get up to like three Thrashing Brontodons in here. I'm also not entirely certain that I need Carnage Tyrant in the sideboard of this deck for against control. I feel like with Citadel just being a value card and like my Explore creatures being value cards and like Duress and Kitesail Freebooter, I probably can give those up. What was that card? Blast Zone? I do think this card's a reasonable sideboard card. I think in the main deck, if you're thinking about this as a colorless land, it's not going to be good because you need your colored mana sources consistently, but playing a couple in the sideboard does not seem unreasonable. Might try, I think I'd try something like this. This is the deck list I'm going to paste under the YouTube video and on my website, I think, for the next time we try this. Which Marty cut this into today, so I think we're going to probably try it again on Monday. I've not. 0. A Soul-type version with Krasis and Ascendancy. I think Ascendancies just win more. I think anytime you're winning based on the number of counters you have because of Ascendancy, you're probably winning the game anyways. Krasis also does not work well with Citadel. That's very true. I need to clean up the sideboard here really quick. The sideboard is like infinite cards for control and not a lot of respect for aggro. Archway Angel's a messed up card. Alright. Post this one up on Stream Decker and we'll be on our way.